All right, so this is the back seats, and as you can see, there's not a lot of room here. I'm not that tall. I'm 5'9", fairly average build, and you can see, I mean, I have a little bit of room here, you know, so that's you know, a little bit, not very much, but my feet, of course, are underneath the seat, you know, so if you're planning on carrying people in the back, I would say for small children, you know, it's probably fine. If you're going to have teens or adults, you probably want to have at least one of them along to make sure that the back seat's going to be comfortable. You know, like I said, if that's going to be part of your daily drive, where you're going to regularly have people in the back, you probably want to have at least one of them along. It does have the rear vents, so that's nice, you know, for the heating and the AC. Definitely important for the people in the back to make sure that they're comfortable. I'll go ahead and close the door, and you can see it's got the cup holder built in. You know, it's on a giant cup holder, but I mean, it should be adequate. You know, the material, it's hard plastic, but you know, again, it's not a luxury car, but you know, it's not a bad vehicle. It's actually not bad at all. This is the front, so of course you have your infotainment controls right there, and your heating and air conditioning controls. Nice thing is that these up here are lighted controls, you know, for your courtesy lights, and also this model has the sunroof. All right, we'll move up to the front passenger side. And so here we are, and you know, I've got a decent amount of leg room, so we're okay there. You know, the seats, of course, are manual control. They're not the most comfortable seats initially, but again, it's definitely not a bad place to sit. You know, I think that if you're driving this, you know, on a daily basis, it'd be pretty comfortable. And we'll get a shot of the steering wheel, and just standard, you know, Toyota fare. Nothing special or, you know, really all that different about it. This model does have the push button start, and you know, this also apparently has the heated seats, which is nice. You have your sorry, let me see if I can get that to focus a little bit better. There we go. All right, so there's your traction control, I guess, if you need to turn that off. This turns off the automatic start stop. So like if you're sitting at a stoplight, and it'll actually put that up on the gauge to press the brake harder, then the car will turn off, and it's supposed to save gas and cut emissions. It works okay. I know some people really don't like it, but I don't find it all that annoying. If you press lightly on the brake pedal when you're stopping, you know, instead of mashing it all the way down, you know, the car will stay running. And if you want it to turn off, you just push down harder on the brake pedal. You know, no kind of sport mode or anything, but it does have the manual mode where you can push the gear shift off to the side. Close the door. So we have the cup holders right here. And of course you have another cup holder right here on the door. One thing that I don't like, you know, so in the driver's seat, and, you know, again, I'm not a very tall person. I'm 5'9". You know, I don't have unusually long legs or anything, so pretty standard build, but this little armrest is actually placed pretty far back, you know, and you can kind of see the relationship of the seat to the pillar, so it's just about level with it, but it's actually, this is too far back for me to rest my elbow on. My elbow actually ends up like up here. So again, you know, when you take for a test drive, you know, just something to be aware of. Okay, so the initial driving impression, if you're on a smooth road, it's actually not bad at all. But if you're on a road that's bumpy, or, you know, if you live in an area where the roads have a lot of expansion joints and maybe a lot of potholes, it can definitely be a little jarring when you're driving. So again, you know, something to keep in mind if you're going to take this on a test drive. I try as much as possible to drive it on roads that are, you know, indicative of where you live, as opposed to, you know, a small loop around where the dealership is, because it's not really going to give you a good representation of how the car drives. Again, you know, it's varies pretty drastically from smooth roads to rougher roads. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, so this is just going to be a quick 0 to 60 test. There are 4 people in the car, but it'll still give you an idea. We are on a slight downhill as well, but again, this will give you an idea of the acceleration as well as probably noise level. Floor it. Alright guys, so this is just going to be a quick acceleration test. There is a dip in the road, but it'll at least give you an idea of the acceleration. Go. Okay. Alright, so there you have it. And we were able to do most of that before we hit the dip. So yeah, I'm not going to comment on if I feel it's fast or not, but you can kind of determine that for yourself by seeing how fast it accelerated. Alright guys, and this is just a quick driving impression, regular driving on the road. It actually handles pretty good, especially, like I said, if you're on, reasonably smooth road. It doesn't have to be like freshly paved or anything, as long as there's just not a lot of potholes or bigger bumps. The car actually handles corners well. It's definitely not bad to drive. The brakes have a good progressive feel to them. There's not a lot of pedal travel, so pretty much very little towards the top, and the brakes immediately start applying. So it's definitely feels safe when you're driving it. Okay, and one thing I do want to demonstrate is this does have the power lift gate, which is definitely a nice touch. So you just press and hold. And there is a button up here that you can that'll lock the doors after it's done, and this will just set it down. So all right, and there you have it.